To another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love is Blind Season 4, Episode 1. So, Chris, we are back. Where would you like to start today?
We're not back every day, though, Dave. So, yay! Get the banners out. And this is a new series of Love is Blind, and we said we were going to do it, as you say. We've had a break, and it was like, right, we're going to come back and attack this one. Maybe doing every episode wasn't the greatest idea, Dave, because nothing happened in this first episode. We got a few, tables setting and everything, but it is filmed in Seattle. What I want to ask you, Dave, because for me, this didn't feel any different to Series 3. I know we're on catch-up, and a lot of people have said how good it is, and I trust everyone who suggested it. I think it will get better. I've seen articles, and I've skated over and said, don't want to ruin it. And I know we're sort of going to talk about this. We're at a disadvantage. We always say this with these sort of shows, because a lot of people listening have already there. So our takes might be slightly off, but, just go with us, guys, like we always do. But they've put me in Seattle this time, and I do like the idea that they all live together. He's on these long distance bollocks like, Love Island and things like that. There is a chance that these couples could work. However, Dave, how formulaic is this show now for me? It really, I'm trying to go with it, and I am going to go with it. I'm hoping it gets better, because it will get better. This is definitely just an intro. This is like the starter to the main meal, but I'm not bought in yet, Dave. I'm not saying I'm in. I'm usually in straight away, and I'm not. I found it like it felt a little bit like what we talked about with maths, where it was like you can see there's a formula, even though maths is great. You can see, and this feels again. I just found it difficult.
Like all of them. Love Island.
Like all of them, yeah. I mean, saying that, Dave, I'll tell you what I've been watching consistently while we've been off, and me and Sam have hammered it. We've done all Beverly Hills Housewives, but Vanderpump Rules, which I know a lot of people on the Facebook page have been saying, like, you should watch it. And me and Sam are on, like, this is the last series now, 10 series, Dave. And there's, like, 20 episodes, including the reunions, and we've hammered it. And now that is a great show. It's full of absolute bellends, but invested completely. Some stupid show, and that's probably more formulaic than this, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of the format still now? We're 4 series in. It's been a success on Netflix, but I don't know how I'm going to feel at the end of it.
Well, I mean, just peeking behind the curtain a little bit, showing our work in. So we were obviously desperate for a week off, weren't we, at the end of maths? Right? Fucking thank fuck for that. But a few people had said, you definitely, can you guys reach out and do Love is Blind? Now, there does seem to be a bit of a, what would you call it, like a buzz. Let's put it that way. This season is pretty good, and the last season was pretty dull.
Yeah.
So we were having a chat about it. And the last couple of seasons that we've done, we've batched up a few episodes. We've covered like 3 or 4 episodes in one of our podcast episodes, and then done it that way. And we thought, well, this time we'll do it 1 episode at a time, and we'll aim to do about 2 episodes a week. So we know that, like, some people have watched it all, and the reality is, if we just Googled and where are they now, we'd probably find all of the end goals for everyone. But we kind of want to go along on the journey, give our sometimes terrible takes and predictions, and you can laugh at us because we've got them completely wrong. But I think we're just more comfortable with doing it episode by episode, and we don't miss big things that happen, or just cover the major plot points when we're batching up those episodes. So I was all set. I was re-energized coming into this episode 1 and thinking, okay, let's go. It's supposed to be something that happens completely different. And episode 1, I'd have to say I agree with you. It sort of fell flat for me. I'm like, yeah, I've sort of seen this before. I've seen this, like, exact same thing. I mean, even to the intros, the little side conversations they have, while playing pool and stuff. It's the same. It's like watching the same play with different actors. Now, again, like I say, it's the same for Maths. It's the same for Love Island. There's something, I guess, comforting. But I think maybe my expectations were off. I think I was just expecting something different, and I feel like, okay, this episode 1 is the one you need to get out of the way. I always say I don't generally like episode 1s. It's only Maths that kind of breaks with that convention, where they seem to get to the drama pretty quick. But here we're just learning about who the characters are, where they're coming from, what their motivations are, some little interactions between them, and not a great deal happens. So I think for me, I'm just on the fence at the minute, and we'll see kind of how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think we'll probably at the end of it go, this is the greatest show. I mean, it is, Dave, the highest rated show on Netflix for views. 30 million views within the first 2 months of it premiering 2020. So they're going to milk the arse off this Netflix. It's one of the most profitable shows that they do. So hence why there's such a quick turnaround. And then what was the offshoot we covered as well, Dave? There was the offshoot show, wasn't there, which was very similar, where they were having to date other couples and stuff. We watched it, didn't we? That was Nick and Vanessa Lachey as well.
The Ultimatum?
That's it, The Ultimatum, yeah. So we watched that, didn't we, as well?
See, for me, that was a bit better, but with that one, you're capturing that magic of the season 1, aren't you? You're getting the kind of players, but they don't know what the format is. Whereas, we're now in season 4 of this one. Everyone knows what the format is. They've seen 3 seasons of it. And I think, Chris, to be honest, they're playing up to it. Because, we probably haven't spoken on this podcast for a week. These fuckers have fallen in love in that time, and I'm not sure I buy it. It's just, you think about it, they're going into this experiment, they're dating, or quote unquote, Chris, because that's the word they use, they're dating, basically sort of speed dating loads of different people. And then by the end of week 1, they're ready to whittle it all down, have more conversations with specific people, and then, have these deep conversations and about how they're really catching feelings for each other. And I'm just like, oh, come on, mate, you're just fucking bullshitting now. I guess I feel, because I'm a cynical old bastard, that they're just really playing it up to it, this season.
I agree. I think that's what I found really difficult. Obviously, they're behind that screen. We know from the first series where it went, Cam and everyone, and how that, that there's still couples together. So there is a great chance that this is probably going to be, there's more chance of couples being together on this than Maths, than certainly fucking Love Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They live within the geographical area of where they are. So I completely can get on board with that. But yeah, you can see, can't you, when they have like some of the chats, and it seems so familiar, but they're so desperate. I mean, what was that Belen from last time, Dave? That fucking, 60-year-old surfer dude who loved himself. Remember? He fucking...
The Doctor.
No.
That was season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one from last series, that knobhead with the blonde hair who fucking... Oh,
Shane?
That's him. Fucking Shane. And obviously...
I think he was season 2, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
Was he season 2, Shane and Shauna?
It was Shane, or he wasn't with Shane.
Shane, yeah. But that was the scandal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was fucking bellend. You could tell he knew what he was doing. With this, I think the only ones who I've really bought into, Dave, as characters, I'll be honest with you. Irene, I'm not a big fan of. I don't know why. There's just something about her I'm a bit off on. Kwame seemed like a good guy. Dave, Brett, Tiffany, them 3 were the only 3 really who I sort of was interested in what was going on. I mean, Kwame's an interesting guy, ex-pro footballer, Dave. Really good job. He's talking about himself. Interesting what he was saying about, I think you mentioned this before the podcast about his name wanting to be called Alex for the show. That was really interesting, that. I
thought it was kind of sad, really, or it made me a little bit sad, because look, we're a couple of white guys, right? We can't talk to this, so we'll never get that. We'll never have that perspective. But it made me feel like he was desperately wanting to conform, and like in his head, Kwame, takes him back to his African roots. That's kind of how it came across to me, and so he wants to conform. He wants to be called Alex. I mean, fucking hell, I just made me sad. I thought, but I'm glad he kind of had that conversation, but then he didn't, go ahead and be called Alex. He was called Kwame. So, it just made me stop and think that bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's such a delicate thing to talk about, but it didn't seem like it's the first time that's a conversation he's had with himself about Dave. That's sad. So I agree, and I'm happy he did stick with that. But he seemed like a good guy. He was talking to Mika, wasn't he? And then I think Chelsea, there seems to be a connection there that was really good. But what I found strange is when you look at the dynamics of everything, so you've got like this Zach guy, haven't you? This attorney guy, high-powered guy, and they're talking and everything. It's when they go back to the kitchens, and they're like, some of them don't want to reveal who they're speaking to. They're sort of like, I've got a connection with this person, but I'm not going to. And then some do, and some of the guys were talking about. It seems to be the girls are a bit more guarded about who they were interested in, weren't they? I'm not just singling it out, but you could see that some of the guys are having an open conversation. But I'm hoping by the next couple of episodes that it really picks off and we get some proper shithouse moves, Dave, because that's the only reason we're here. We want the drama, don't we? We want, like, the love stuff's great. It showed with bloody, what was he called, Tarney and Ollie in maths. They were really, they were the couple we should have been fucking, success about. We should have been championing from the rooftops, Dave. And we were like, oh, fuck off, yous are boring. We want Harrison and Bronte and all the other bellends because they make the show. So in some respects, you need that. However, the articles, as we said, I've just said it's the best Love Is Blind series. So I think we're in for a real treat, even though I really felt it was lukewarm and the feeling out process was very, very formulaic. I think when they meet each other, that's when we see everything and we have the dinner dates. That's when this show comes into his own, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, maybe episode 2 will be equally about table setting and just getting to know the people, because we've only met, we know there's a much bigger cast than this, and we've only got to meet a few of them. So, I think we'll meet a few more in episode 2, and then episode 3 and 4, that's when I'm expecting it to catch fire a little bit. But let's see. But Chris, I will say, just mention about Kwame, he did actually play professional football or professional soccer, Chris. So he played for Philadelphia Fury for 8 months, and looks like Delaware Stars. Sorry. So to get to that level, if he's down the 5-a-side pitch, he's probably the best player on the pitch, isn't he?
Oh God, yeah.
So I appreciate that he, he's not like a fucking what was it, Toby from Love Island, United. Fucking hashtag United. Fuck off. Fucking footballer. Yeah, and their weight tables on the side. But you say about the side conversations when they all go back. Micah has got some good chemistry with Kwame, and also Paul as well, but you can see they're a lot more kind of catty, aren't they? Was it Chelsea who was going on about getting all the stuff from home and whatever and making a bit of a fuss? Micah's sort of like, fuck off.
Yeah. It's just like, you're going to get my fucking nerves, you. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it, Dave? Because I always wonder about, like, the families watching it. When it comes out, this is because we know when we've done the Netflix stuff, they sit on it for a long time, don't they? They sit on this this was probably filmed. I don't know when it was filmed, but last time a lot of the Netflix stuff, they do one series after another, don't they? And then they keep.
Well, 2 and 3 were back to back, weren't they? So I think there's a bit more of a time lag with this one. But you're right; it's probably filmed a year ago or something.
Yeah, so it's interesting. They can't post on the socials because we don't know who they are. Nobody can say anything, and then it comes out, then, doesn't it? And then it's like everyone goes hunting. Then all the reporters are looking to see if there's any. Are they still together? Who they gone with, and all that. So I think that's what grabs people. But I've actually heard good things on other podcasts about Love Is Blind, Dave. A lot of the American podcasts that I listen to, like some of the UFC bloody ones with some of the fighters and things, they're all going, "Have you watched Love Is Blind?" I'm watching it with my missus and stuff, and I'm like,
"We're trendsetters, mate. We were there. Season 1, we were there." when no one else cared.
Yeah. But I did see, to be fair, I think the highlight of this episode, and I did see this on Gogglebox a few weeks ago, Dave, was the situation with Brett and Tiffany. So they have made a great connection. A great connection. And you can see there's something there between them. She's very emotionally intelligent, and so is he. And she said that. I like the fact that he's got to a point in his life. He seems very grown up, and they do. They seem really good together. They're one of the standout ones that I sort of believed in. But the fact that she fucking fell asleep, Dave, is a cracker, because he's now thinking she fucking walked out, or she wasn't interested, or she just stopped talking to him. And he's like, "So the guys, I'm out." And I'm thinking, I don't think you are, Brett, but he was fuming, wasn't he, Dave? So that was the only thing, really, that made me laugh on this episode. I was like, oh, this is the only thing with this sort of show. It can create things. She was obviously comfortable with him and just fucking fell asleep. Some would say she was fucking bored, Dave, but I don't think she was. She was that comfortable with him. She just zoned out and, went to sleep.
Well, I think the other thing is that the recording times are quite grueling, aren't they? We hear this from all the different reality shows. They're recording till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'd be fucked, past 10 o'clock, Chris. I'm ready to go to bed.
Stop boasting, Dave. Stop boasting.
I know you're a 9 o'clocker, but you're up earlier. But so I think there could have been that. I must admit, the first thing that went through my mind is that's a setup, days.
Right.
There was something about it that just fell off. I don't know what it was, but it was almost, it felt like manufactured drama to me. And, just a bit to make us kind of buy into this couple. And then by the end of it, we're like, oh shit, they were so close. And then they're going to have this misunderstanding. It's going to be a whole Ross-Rachel thing. It's like, will they, won't they? So I think they'll find that the connection is too strong. They'll clear up this misunderstanding, because I think in previous seasons we've usually had a proposal by the end of episode 1. I'm thinking, or maybe I'm muddling that up because we've binged them a bit. But no, they've decided to finish it off on a bit of drama. But I must admit, out of all the couples that we've seen, I'm rooting for these first off, straight out of the gates. So Brett and what was the name? Tiffany, that was it. Brett and Tiffany. So when Brett started going on about, I started drawing and drawing. He was quite introverted, wasn't he? Sounds like he's had no money growing up. And, power being turned off, and so he didn't want his mates to come round and see him, so he was drawing. And then he said he started his Instagram page. I'll be completely honest here, Chris. I thought, oh, fucking hell, here we go, influencer. And then, he's talking about, he ends up designing these sneakers or training shoes and then picks up a job at Nike, gets headhunted for Nike. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. So in a short amount of time, it had me going from, oh, fucking hell, another influencer to, I know he's actually fucking, it's a really good story, isn't it? It's self-made, basically started doing something he loved and ended up getting headhunted because he was really fucking good at it. So, I thought he had a good backstory. I thought it was tragic when he was telling the story about his older brother.
Oh, it's terrible. That.
Yeah, and so, I think... I don't know. Let's see where it goes, but the signs are promising for this couple.
Yeah, they are. To be fair, they are. And I think the one thing I'd say when you say about is it a setup, just before we finish on that, is when I saw it on Gogglebox, I literally was zooming in on Tiffany's face, going, "Is she twitching? Is this bull?" Yeah. I did think that. However, watching it this time, I went with it because I think in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, we've had no other drama. This is the best we can come up with, really, because the table's setting. So, yeah, let's see, Dave. Let's see. I do think they'll get together. I don't think that's the end of it. It would be a shame, to be honest, because it seemed more of a natural connection than because all the others just seemed forced. It was just like, shit, I need to get together. Because it's like speed dating, isn't it? We've said it before. It's blind speed dating, and if there's a story there, you stay on the show. There's that many contestants that they don't even use, and we don't see anything about, and then afterwards they'll come out and go, oh, yeah, we had a full thing, but they didn't want to use us. It's whatever the producers see is a storyline for the 12 episodes. So, I'm with that one. So, anything else, Dave, before we ride off into the sunset?
I think there are a few things. What was the chap from season 2? Deep Tea was the girl, and it was.
Oh, he was a fucking dick.
He was a knob, wasn't he?
He's a knob. Yeah, I can't remember. He was a doctor, wasn't he? Wasn't he a doctor?
He was a doctor. Oh, it'll maybe come to me, but you know, I mean, well, there's a guy from this episode, so Bill, who loves his leopard skin. I mean, fucking hell, come on, mate, it's not the 80s. But okay, he loves his leopard skin or whatever. He doesn't seem to understand the experiment because he's like that guy from season 2 where he's trying to figure out what the person on the other side of the wall looks like by asking him kind of questions.
Can he deadlift? That's what he said.
Can I pick you up at a concert? So wrong.
What a question that is.
So nothing as horrendous as that, but you know, I thought he came across like a bit of a tool, to be honest. And then you've got Zach, who, you know, he seemed to have a bit of a connection, didn't he, with one of the girls whose name I can't remember, but it's why I fucking hate episode 1s. It just who are these people? So but he seemed to have a bit of a connection, and again, that's where I was getting a bit like, this is bollocks, this, because you know it's about 10 days or something in there end to end. So episode 1 we're probably seeing, you know, mostly week 1, and he's like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh, I'm falling for you, and all that crap. It's like, come on. So yeah, that just made the cynical part of me come out. And then I thought it was interesting that, was it Amber, who was married a couple of times?
Twice, yeah. She was married twice, yeah.
Yeah, but she said something that was quite troubling. She was saying about not having her needs met or something, both times. And I'm thinking, you're either a shitty chooser of partners or you're really fucking needy. But then when he was taking a moment to digest it, she was getting quite salty with him. She even said it, you know, I am feeling a bit salty. You know, so she was getting arsey with it. And I was like, there's a bunch of red flags here.
That's what we need. He's the contestant we need, you're right. That's where the drama comes, doesn't it? It leads off, and unfortunately, we've said this before, we want older contestants, but in a show like this, when then unfortunately they've got battle scars and they've been in these emotionally draining relationships, the guards are up, aren't they? I mean, I'm always questionable. It's like, well, why would you come on a fucking TV show where you're going to be? It's obviously for the exposure, because you're going to be so broken down in yourself by the audience, by the person you're trying to talk to. You're putting yourself into a situation that you can't really get out, really. So, but for us as like two cynical middle-aged old fuckers who just love this shit, she's the perfect potential baddie, or sort of the contestant we need.
Yeah, so I think, and in this first episode, you're not too sure, you know, who's going to make it through to the other side, and there's people you see in the side rooms that, you know, you never really see any interactions in the pods. That's why I think episode 2 we'll start to see them a bit more. So hopefully things will start to settle down, and we'll start to get to know, you know, who the couples are, whether they're a good match or not, and take it from there.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, Dave, great to be back. Great to be back, my friend, and great talking about this nonsense reality stuff. So if you want to email us, guys, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. As always, get over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. So, Dave, if you do support us as well, and not really you, Dave.
Well, thank you. I may do. Where can I find you, Chris?
Get over, if you want to support us a bit more, get over to patreon.com/CD RealityCast. And today's and first roll call of honour for Love is Blind is, and a massive thank you to Sarah, Larissa, Helen, Alex, Macy, Nicola, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafsson. So thank you so much, guys. Great to have everybody tuning in again. I hope you've all had a little break from me and Dave, and we are back. So, mate, it's been good because having the break's always good, but once we get talking, this stuff just reignites me, and I'm like, oh, we're all in now. So, yeah, I'm in on this series. I just want it to get better because the first one was a bit of a snoozer.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, like I say, we'll probably have some new names that I'll forget as well in the next episode. But, hopefully, as we get through the series, we'll start to get to know these characters a little bit more. But, yeah, like you said, Chris, it's good to be back. And thank you, everyone, for listening to us, everyone to support us. Oh, my God, put my teeth in, Dave. Anyway, I think that's a sign we should give up. All right. Speak to you next time.
Bye.